The moment I discovered her betrayal, the world seemed to halt around me. It was as if time itself had frozen, and a nauseating, gut-wrenching sensation gripped me. The kind you feel when you're struck with shocking news that takes the air from your lungs. It wasn't merely the fact that she had cheated on me. It was the chilling precision with which she had concealed it for months. There were no late-night phone calls, no strange behavior, no glaring signs. Just the smallest of missteps, a message she had forgotten to erase. Her phone buzzed one morning while she was in the shower, and as I glanced at it, the message preview caught my eye. It hit me like a truck. "Last night was amazing, can't wait to see you again." My hands trembled, and my heart pounded in my chest. But rather than the explosive rage I thought I'd feel, I was strangely calm, a cold, eerie calm. It frightened me. Perhaps it was the shock of it all, or maybe something deeper, more deliberate. I knew at that moment that a confrontation would never give me the closure I craved. I wasn't the type to scream or break things. No, what I wanted was something far more profound. I wanted her to feel the full weight of her actions, something beyond a mere confrontation. I decided to play the long game. For weeks, I acted as though everything was perfectly normal. I smiled, kissed her, asked about her day, and listened to her stories as I always had. I felt like I was living in a movie, a secret performance for an audience of none but me. Inside, however, I was plotting my next move. I became a silent observer of my own life, learning everything I could about her affair without her suspecting a thing. I discovered who he was. A guy named Marcus, a new addition to her department at work. I learned where they met. Not always the same place, but enough to know their routine. Every time she told me she was working late, I knew exactly what she was doing. But I didn't confront her. Instead, I gave her the freedom to dig her own grave. The more I uncovered, the clearer it became. I didn't just want revenge. I wanted control. Control over the situation, control over the outcome, and control over my own emotions. Then one night, when she was out with him, I decided to make my move. But I didn't go to the bar where they were meeting. I didn't snoop through her phone again. Instead, I called a locksmith and changed every lock to our apartment. I packed her belongings into boxes, stacked them neatly in the hallway, and then sat down to write her a letter. It wasn't a letter filled with accusations or venom. No, it was calm, deliberate, precise, just like me. I explained that I knew everything. I told her how I had discovered the affair, how long I had known, and how I had silently observed her betray me, while she thought I was none the wiser. I told her that I didn't hate her, but I couldn't live with someone who didn't value honesty and loyalty. I wished her well, but made it clear she wouldn't be coming back to our home. Not tonight and not ever. I printed the letter, left it on the kitchen counter, and sent her a text. I know your things are in the hallway. The locks are changed. Check the kitchen counter for my letter. Goodbye, I turned off my phone after that. I didn't want to hear her excuses, her apologies, or her tears. I didn't care about the drama that would surely follow. I had taken control. That was all that mattered. But I wasn't done yet. I needed to make sure she truly understood the weight of her actions. Her affair hadn't just remained a secret between the two of them. It had seeped into our mutual social circles. She had introduced him to our friends, presented him as just a colleague, and though some might have suspected something, no one ever told me. I was the oblivious boyfriend, unaware of the betrayal. Until now. The next day I threw a party. I invited all of our friends, those who knew her, those who didn't. But there was one twist. I invited Marcus too. I wanted them all there. Her friends, my friends, the people who had known about it or who might have known, but never said a word. I wanted them to witness what was about to unfold. She had no idea about the party. She was still reeling from the shock of being locked out of our home. As the guests arrived, I played the role of the perfect host. Drinks, laughter, casual conversation. No one suspected anything. Then, when everyone had settled, I called for attention. I stood in the center of the room, glass in hand, and waited for silence. I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. I began, my voice steady. But before we continue, there's something I need to address. I turned to Marcus, locking eyes with him. He looked confused, his nerves apparent. He had no clue what was coming. Marcus, I said, my voice clear and firm. I know you've been sleeping with my girlfriend. The room went completely still. It was as though time stopped for a moment. Marcus turned pale, his glass trembling in his hand. I wasn't done. I've known for a while now, I continued. And I'm not here to yell or argue. I'm just here to let you know that I've decided to move on. I've already kicked her out, changed the locks, and now / I'm going to enjoy the rest of my life without either of you in it. Marcus stammered, trying to find words, but none came. The guests stood frozen, unsure whether to leave or stay. The tension in the air was palpable, but I remained composed. I hope you two are happy together, I finished, raising my glass one last time. Because I sure as hell won't be around to see it. With that, I turned and walked out of the room, leaving them all in stunned silence. I never looked back. In the end, I realized that a direct confrontation would have only fueled more pain and drama. Instead, I had taken control of my own narrative. I made sure everyone knew exactly who held the power. As I walked away from that chapter of my life, I felt lighter, freer, and more ready than ever for whatever came next. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need closure. I had everything I needed the moment I decided to take charge of my story.